Hello, my dear friends, and today we're going to talk about decluttering and when you should stop decluttering. Does that sound interesting? You know what? You never stop decluttering. I don't think you have to formally declutter after you've gotten everything done, so we're going to go through that today and see what it looks like. First of all, what is decluttering? Decluttering is taking the things that are in your home that are a weight on you, that make it feel like you're living in a storage bin. When you open the closet, maybe it's a Monica closet and everything pours out from Seinfeld, if you don't know what that reference is. Or maybe you just have a room where you've stashed and dashed, or your garage is overwhelming, or your whole house has cubbies and things where things are stuffed away. That clutter is usually things that you don't love, need, use, or it's not seasonal. It's just stuff that you think, oh, I paid so much for this. Oh, my aunt gave me this, etc. When it belongs to you, you get to do what you want to with it, no matter who gave it to you. So just remember that. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to declutter. We're going to declutter 3 times a day. And we're going to, that's our clutter stop. It's not really a declutter, it's a clutter stop where you make sure that the things that are laying around get thrown in the garbage or put on the shelf where they belong, or, wherever their home should be. But those homes have to be vacated first so that you can put the things you love, need, and use in them. So that's officially decluttering, and we declutter by the zone. So we declutter every week in a certain part of the house. It may seem like it's never going to get there, but it will get there. I've mentored women personally for 7 years, and I've had so many successes, innumerable successes, and people who still come back to me years later and say, Kat, you changed my whole life. And I'm telling you, it will change your life and it will work. Don't fight it. Just do the thing that I tell you to do. And that's to work for 15 minutes, 4 times a week in that zone. Or if you're a payroll homemaker, 1 time a week for 1 hour in that zone. So if it's your Saturday, then that morning you'll get up and you'll do your morning routine followed by your zone for 1 hour. So what are the zones? The zones are zone 1, the entryway. That's any entrance or exit into your house. Also the space outside of the house, the patio, the deck, the front porch, the back porch, that counts. And then inside of the house, the entryway, the foyer, even if it's just a door into a hall from the garage, those are your entryways. So we're going to work on our entryways, which would include, I always like to include, if you have a 2-story house, the stairs, because they usually open to the front, go close to the front door. And so we have to declutter and deep clean the stairs at some point. Also any closets by the front door, a foyer closet, etc. And some people like to include their dining room in the entryways because it's a not used room, really. I mean, it's used, and I hope that you'll start using it more and more, but you can add that in if you'd like. Zone 2 is the kitchen and all the parts of the kitchen. That's the pantry, the refrigerator, the cabinets, under the sinks, the cupboards, all of the parts. If you have an eat-in kitchen, it includes that part too. So that's the kitchen. The zone 3 is the hall bathroom. That's generally the ones the children use or the ones your guests would use. And one other room. An other room is a sewing room, a craft room, a laundry room, a spare bedroom, a child's room, an office, a garage, an attic, etc. A sunroom, if I didn't say that. So those are other rooms, and you only do one for 15 minutes, 4 times that week. The zone 4, the following one, is your master bedroom, which includes your master closet or closets, and if you have one, your master bathroom. That's zone 4. Zone 5 is the living area. So you might have a great room or a living room, dining room combination, or you might have a great room and a loft upstairs that you use often. That would be the living areas, and that's zone 5. And those are the zones. You can change the zones around to suit you in a better, if you have a better layout for yourself, that's fine. But you, in essence, cover the whole house in 1 month. Every month, over and over and over again, in 4 15-minute units. So that's decluttering. So what happens when we get them all streamlined and everything has a home, so that when your children leave a book on the table, you can say the book doesn't go there, it goes on the shelf in the whatever room. That's when your home is decluttered. Oh, who left the scissors out? Go put them in the second drawer on the right in the kitchen. It's so nice to be able to find things. Moms, where's the tape? The tape is blah. Okay? Where is the needle and thread? I need to sew something. In the sewing box in my craft room or whatever, which is in the closet on the shelf. Everything has a place. And sometimes it's a good idea to create a place in your head first before you even begin. So imagine your house empty, and now move all your furniture in, but don't put anything in it. No books, no Tupperware, no nothing. And then imagine, this is just in your mind, and now imagine each room, each storage space. What do you ideally want to keep in there? And write it down on a paper. Have a paper for each room and write down what you want to store in there. And then when you start decluttering, you can say, oh, I know where this is supposed to go. It's supposed to go here. Now, when you get here, there may be no room in that place because you haven't decluttered it yet. My suggestion is to put it in the corner of that room in a box or a container so that you will have it to put in that space once it's cleaned out. Now, what happens once it's all organized? Well, this is the part about not decluttering again. Once you declutter, first of all, now you can start deep cleaning. And it's such a thrill to deep clean your house when there's no clutter. You can't deep clean when there's no clutter. That's why we do a weekly home blessing hour. We just bless the house. And we'll always bless the house because it's helpful. But you can't do any deep cleaning. So until that zone is completely decluttered, you can't deep clean in that zone. Once it is, then you're going to deep clean in that zone. But let's say, for example, you go into your kitchen and you open the silverware drawer and things are just kind of askew a little bit in there. This isn't really a declutter, but it's a do it now. And that's stop for a second and say, oh, this isn't straight. Let me straighten it real quick. Oh, what is this doing in here? It doesn't go in. That's the kids put trash in there, whatever. So you just kind of pick it up and do it again. Now, there will be places that you just won't notice. And one day you'll open your Tupperware cabinet and go, oh, what happened? So you're going to have to declutter it or at least reorganize it again. And you can do that in your zone. You may want to wait till the kitchen zone and say, oh, I see you and I have a plan for you. Write it in your planner. On that next time you're in the kitchen, you say, I'm going to definitely declutter all my plasticware. And you go through it and you say, these don't have lids. Garbage, right? Or what are these lids for? I don't have the bottoms. Garbage. And that happens from time to time when you're living in a house with other people who really don't know or even care about your system. And that's okay. You're just going to, sometimes you just have, and sometimes something got rotten and it got thrown away and the lid got washed and, you know how it is. So something was in the refrigerator too long and grew fuzz and no one wanted to wash it, so they threw it in the garbage, but the lid got washed. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, next. So that's what I mean when you have to sort of kind of declutter in the future. So maybe you open your underwear drawer and it's just all balled up and everything's not nice anymore. You say, when I get back to the bedroom, I'm going to work on my underwear drawer. I'm going to go through it. And you know what? This underwear is kind of ratty. I'm going to get rid of some of this. I'm going to make a note that I need to buy some new underwear. And so that's what you're going to do. And the children's clothes are probably the biggest area, the children's toys and the children's clothes, of needing to declutter again and again. Because as they grow older, their little bodies grow so fast, you have to make room in their drawers for their new clothes. You can't be mad at them because they don't put their clothes away when they say, Mom, it won't fit, and the drawers are sagging, they're so full. So you're going to go through your children's clothing quite often and get out the things that don't fit them anymore. Give them away or put them away for a younger child or throw them away if they're ruined. Okay? So that's the plan, and that's what I say when I'm saying declutter. That is declutter, and that is also re-decluttering. It's not as big a deal as the original decluttering. And the thing that I want you to change right now is change your mind. When you start to declutter, you're going to see everything and you're going to say, oh my goodness, what has happened? Oh, I'm a terrible person. Well, you're not a terrible person. You're like a million other women out there who are super busy and just didn't have a plan. But now you're going to have a plan, and you're going to work your plan, and you're not going to say, I'm going to do this whole house at one time, because that's what our mind takes us to. Oh my gosh, I got to declutter this whole house. Nope. You have to declutter this one shelf for 15 minutes today. That's all. That's all you have to do. And so it's never hard. You never really dread it. It's simple. And you have 3 containers when you go to declutter. You have a box for giveaway, a bag for garbage, and a basket for put away. And again, that's when the put away, you look at your list and say, where did I say I was going to put Harvey's bowling ball? Oh yeah, the front hall closet. Okay, I think I can cram it in there for now. Okay? All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that you don't overwhelm yourself with the whole picture, but instead say, I'm just going to do this one little shelf. And I hope that you always remember to say, I see you and I have a plan for you for those things that are just pressing on you. Dump them out, put them on the list of things to do later. Okay? And then you do them in those zones throughout the months. That's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you always remember that you are beautiful. So be beautiful.